Welcome to Variant. We love comics more than I can't wait for New York Comic Con. I'm your host, Arris. First, we have to mention the horrible earthquakes that hit Mexico and Hurricane Maria, which tore through Puerto Rico and other nearby islands. Both disasters caused incredible destruction and, more tragically, claimed many lives. Guys, between the flooding from Harvey in Houston, the damage from Irma and Maria in Florida, Puerto Rico, and several other islands, the wildfires in the western US, and the earthquakes in Mexico, there's a lot of people in need right now. So we've once again put links in the description for several organizations, including Team Rubicon, who are on the ground providing aid and relief to the victims whose lives have been destroyed. Let's continue to act like superheroes in real life by doing everything we can to provide support. And to everyone in Mexico and Puerto Rico who has been affected by these recent massive disasters, we want you to know that our love and thoughts are with you guys. Now, having said that, let me also say happy Batman Day, everyone. Be sure to head out to your local comic book shop to get some of the free Batman swag they'll be giving out today. And buy a comic book while you're there. I know I'll be doing both. We've got to support our local comic book shops so they'll keep their lights on and doors open. Anyway, with today being Batman Day, we're obviously keeping things Batman themed with DC's Dark Knight's Metal. This new storyline from Scott Snyder is introducing several new evil versions of Batman from the Dark Multiverse, all of which are loosely based on Batman's Justice League teammates. And this past Wednesday, we got our first Metal one-shot tie-in titled Batman the Red Death. That gave us the origin of the evil Batman Speedster, Red Death. Amazing. I know. Now, it should go without saying, but I'm going to be spoiling this entire issue and possibly even aspects of the first two Dark Knight's Metal issues. So this is your spoiler warning. This is your last chance to jump ship, because spoilers start right now. A quick summary of what's been happening in Metal is that the doorway to the Dark Multiverse has been opened and it's releasing Batman's worst fears into the real world. This is where the Dark Knights come in. They're basically evil amalgamations of Batman and the rest of the Justice League. And let me also add, they look awesome. Which brings us to Batman the Red Death issue 1. The beginning of the comic is set in an alternate reality, or more specifically Earth 52, where we see this Earth's Barry Allen, Flash, running away from someone who's shooting ice, fire, and all sorts of stuff at him. One would assume that it would be the Rogues, but that would be wrong. Well, at least partially wrong. Because the person attacking Barry actually turns out to be this world's Batman, armed with all of the Rogue's weapons. Batman is doing this because he wants the Flash to give him the Speed Force, so that he could travel back in time to save his parents and all the Robins that have died. But Barry's all like, nah bro, I've tried that before and it never ends well. Now, if only the CW Flash had gotten that message, but I digress. Anyway, Bruce ignores Barry's warning and continues to attack the Flash, but this time in the freaking Dark Knight Returns Bat Tank. Side note, this has easily already become one of my favorite Dark Knight Returns homages in a comic. The other one being drawn by Greg Capullo in Batman Zero Year. But back to the issue. Batman manages to inject Barry in the leg with a freezing formula developed by Mr. Freeze. This stops Flash long enough for Batman to strap him to the Batmobile, which has a repurposed cosmic treadmill attached to it, allowing Batman to harness Flash's connection to the Speed Force. As Batman puts it, I will race into the Speed Force and steal it from you. Bang, Batman. That's cold. Regardless, Batman does just that and robs Barry of the Speed Force. After this, we see Gotham City at war and Scarecrow terrorizing an innocent couple. But just as he's about to stab them, Batman, now Red Death, arrives and punches the Scarecrow in half. Yes, you heard me correctly. He punches the Scarecrow in half with his fist. Red Death then proceeds to kill other villains in Gotham, including Riddler, Penguin, and Man-Bat. And as he's doing so, he realizes that Gotham and his entire world is breaking apart, and he's not fast enough to save it. It's at this moment when he hears another voice telling him, our worlds aren't meant to last. They are destined to die. It's a cruel law of nature in this place. You can feel it yourself, can't you? Your time is meant to end now. But what if I told you there was a world far, far above us that was destined to live? To which Red Death says, tell me more. Judging by the way his speech bubbles look and his reference to his master Barbados, I think it's pretty safe to assume that this mysterious voice is coming from one of the other Dark Knights, the Batman who laughs, who then brings Red Death to Earth Zero, the first world of the multiverse. And once in DC's main reality, he starts terrorizing all of Flash's loved ones, like Arris and Wally West. This of course leads to a fight with the main Barry Allen Flash, but thankfully Dr. Fate steps in and saves Barry by teleporting him the heck out of there. Red Death then says, it won't save you. We'll fight again, Flash. Barbados foretold the end of our story. I will turn Central City into the home I lost and save my Gotham. See there? The guy just wants his city and loved ones back. Although this evil Bruce might be going about it the wrong way. Just a little bit. Either way, we now have the origin and motivation of Red Death, and I personally think it's another awesome character from DC's metal. I mean, just having an evil Batman Flash is all kinds of amazing, but can we also talk about how cool it is that instead of having lightning coming off of him when he runs, it's freaking evil bats? Evil bats that apparently suck the life out of you. It got me all kinds of worked up. Bottom line, I can't wait to read the origins of the other Dark Knights and see where this story goes. But before we wrap things up, we want to let you guys know that we're headed to New York Comic Con from October 5th to 8th, and we'll be covering all the geeky goodness from the Javits Center on VariantComics.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find links and info for all of that stuff in the description below, so be sure to hang out with us for New York Comic Con because it's going to be a crap ton of fun. You can also head over to VariantComics.com now to chat about Red Death with the rest of the Variant Nation. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time when we talk about all things comics.